interpersonal relationship. He said honesty and clarity are based and best for both parties who are in a transaction, while concealment and deceit take away the blessings of a contract. So if Mr. Obama wants to really reach out to the Muslim world, then he has to do certain profound things. Islam says honesty and integrity are based on four things, or four areas where it must manifest itself, brothers and sisters. It must exist in our hearts. We must be honest in our hearts. For Allah Azza wa Jalla says, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. It is by often remembering Allah do you find contentment in your heart. A contented heart is an honest heart. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. There is a disease in their heart. That heart is not an honest heart. Honest heart requires contentment. Our honesty must be in our hearts. Honesty must be behind our intention. Rasulullah said, every action, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ, every action is judged by intention. It's not just your heart that is the only way you should express your honesty. I feel good about you, my brother, it's in my heart. Well, it's not good enough. My intention must be right and correct and honest. My words must be honest. And finally, my actions must be honest. So Mr. Obama, if you're serious about honesty, well, here are 5 proposals we have for you. Get out of Iraq and Afghanistan now. For you and your government's policies, not you as a person, have caused great havoc and misery to the millions of people in those 2 countries. That is not an honest sign. That is not a sign of honesty and integrity. Get out and end Israeli occupation and humiliation of Palestinians. It's been happening for 65 years because America has been blindly supporting Israeli action. 65 years later, a president comes and says, you know what, I realize you also have the right to live. It's a bit late, but it's better late than never. So do us a favor, Mr. Obama, if you're serious about it, sort it out. Tell your friends in Israel, stop humiliating Palestinians, end the occupation, the land that you've stolen. Give it back to the Palestinians, for you have made them homeless. They were people with a home and a land. Honesty and integrity means understanding that too. Stop supporting dictators and despots, so Mr. Obama. He was giving a speech from Egypt. Irony, isn't it? A country that is not known for democracy or openness or transparency. Mr. Mubarak has been ruling Egypt for more than 30 years with iron fist. He has been imprisoning people who are opponents in the prison. 100,000 prisoners are rotting in the prisons because they're political opponents. Anyone who speaks against him is in the prison. Just before an election, all the opponents are in the prison. And he gets 99% of the votes. And on the ballot paper he says, Hosni Mubarak, yes, and there is no no. Unbelievable. And Mr. Obama is giving a speech telling you and I about what to do in the Muslim world. Well, he's speaking from a country which is known for tyranny and dictatorship. Tell your friend Mubarak to get off his seat and allow people to decide their own future. Vacate that seat. End tyranny and dictatorship. Tell your friend that you met yesterday, Mr. Obama, in Saudi Arabia, that royal family has been stealing the wealth of the Muslims for years, while depriving people of its own country of the wealth that Allah has given as a ni'mah and an amana for the whole of the ummah. Mr. Obama, if you're serious, tell your royal family friends, you know what? You behave this way, no more trade, no more relationship. Then we'll know that not only are you doing the talking, but you're also doing the walking. Once you have decided to be honest, we can sit around and talk. We can sit around and talk. Talk about honesty and integrity. For Rasulullah says, Ad-Din wal Nasiha. Religion is sincerity. Religion is honesty. Religion is based on those 2 principles. Our deen is based on it. We're a people of integrity and honesty. We don't turn the other cheek when you slap me on this one. For too long, you've been slapping us on one side. You want to talk? Undo the injustices that your government policies have perpetrated. Then we'll talk about honesty and integrity in a new beginning. Your brothers and sisters, Allah Azza wa Jal beautifully encapsulates the concept of honesty and integrity in the verse that I've recited. We must be truthful. We must be devout. We must be patient. We must be humble. We must be chaste. We must be self-denying, selfless. It's only then are we honest. It's only then are we a people of integrity. And I believe we have it. وقولي هذا وصلنا استغفر الله. الحمد لله الذي كفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, it's easy to criticize others. It's very difficult to put that criticism in practice in our own lives. It's very easy to point fingers at everyone else. It's not Mr. Obama's fault that the majority of the Muslim world is still ruled by dictators and despots. It's not his fault. He's just come to power the other day. If the Muslim communities of the world, if the Muslim world were really, truly, and honestly ready to change, they would have changed those dictators and despots long time ago. Do you remember that story I used to, and I keep telling you? One day Ali was sitting down and resting. A man came and complained, "Oh Ali, why can you not rule like Umar and Abu Bakr?" Ali stopped for a second and he said, "Because Abu Bakr and Umar were ruling people like me, and I'm ruling people like you." Doesn't that say it all? It sums it up. But we are a people who have dictators and despots on our heads because we have chosen to be in that state. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will not change the fate of those people surely unless we change what is within ourselves first. Honesty and integrity must start from home. Honesty and integrity must start from here. If we are not an honest people, the world will laugh at us. The world will take advantage of you and I. And they will complain. Rasul Sallallahu subhanallah, an example of the best, of course. But there is a nice example I wish to share with you. He sent, Rasul Sallallahu one day, sent a companion to a king, an emperor. In the emperor's court, Rasul Sallallahu, Byzantine emperor, Heraclius. He sent a message. And Heraclius decided to ask Abu Sufyan, who was not a Muslim at that time, "Oh Abu Sufyan, what do you think of this man who has sent me a message?" And here's what Abu Sufyan had to say. Abu Sufyan was an open enemy of Islam at that time. He said, "Muhammad, he neither tells lies nor betrays us. He bids people to worship Allah alone, and he orders us to be pious, devout in our prayer. He asks us to be honest, and he tells us to control our cardinal